All right, day one of camp going on. Kind of just tell us what exactly you have going on this week here at the J.
You know, this is the third year where we have conducted this camp, and as we recall, 4 years ago there was a senseless tragedy, basically 3 murders that occurred, and you know we wanted to reach out to the Jewish Community Center and just lend our support and do whatever we could to help heal this community, this great facility, and just do what we could. And so this is the third year. Bob Henneke and I developed a relationship, and Bob has been unbelievable and very cooperative, and our entire front office takes part. So it's a good team building thing for us as well.
You guys got like 100 kids out here. How did you choose which kids get to go, and how do they kind of take part in this?
You know, I know Bob Henneke and his staff organize all of that. This year we have the KCK RBI participants. Last year we had KC Mo RBI that was involved in it as well, and I know that the Jewish Community Center will bus them in each day. And then the final day, we're going to actually be at the Urban Youth Academy, which we're really excited about. In years past, we spent a day at the K. This year, it just didn't work out, but the Urban Youth Academy is going to serve in its place, and it'll be a lot of fun.
A lot of folks don't know about CU in the major leagues and the foundation that you have. What have you been able to accomplish with that foundation, from baseball, the fundraising, and everything in Kansas City?
Well, it's been a learning process, really, but it's been one that I've enjoyed. It's been good work. It's been very fulfilling. We've been able to come alongside of families that are in need, families that are in crisis, and come alongside and just be able to help in any small way possible. A couple months ago when we had the tornadoes hit, we were able to come alongside of a family and help them restore a lot of their belongings and things like that. So it's, like I said, it's been a lot of fun and very rewarding.
Winning on the field is one thing, but when you do it and help other people and you see that joy and you see people smile from the ability to help them, does that trump winning at times when you can see how much you're helping people?
Well, this is a platform to do good. That's really what it amounts to, Bob. And you understand that, and we're fortunate and blessed to work in professional baseball, but we've always viewed what we do as something that's bigger than baseball, and it's always been the spirit of the Glass family, the spirit of our front office to do everything we can to grow the game of baseball and softball in the Kansas City community. And I like to think that our players, the example that they set, motivates young boys and young girls to want to play this game, and moms and dads to bring their young children to the baseball game and enjoy watching our players go out and give their very best effort.
Is there a story or something that you're looking at that you think about all the time, go, wow, I can't believe we were able to do that for somebody?
Well, there's been several, really. And, whether it be coming alongside a single mother who needs her lights turned on and needs some bills paid, or, deposit to get into, an apartment, or, a tragedy where somebody is been paralyzed, where we've been able to help them purchase a wheelchair accessible van. And so all those things have been rewarding for us. And that being said, we like to make sure that we're doing our part, just to not only help with finances, but help with moral support as well, whether bring them out to a ball game or just spend time with people that are in need.
It's all the stuff that Royals fans have been able to see you guys do over the years, from the firefighters during the World Series and everything that happened during the World Series. This organization has really gotten behind the city, and obviously the city has gotten behind the organization. It seems like a perfect relationship to me.
It really is. And, Bob, I think, all of our sports teams do an amazing job. They really do. It's not just the Royals, and there's so many generous, giving people in this community. It's really a special place. And, the thing that's been so enjoyable for me is the fact that we've won here is great. But because we've won, I've been able to travel all over the country and talk about the great city of Kansas City and our fans and the people that live here and the attributes that make this community so great. And so yes, the Royals certainly take their role very seriously, but I know the Chiefs do, and Sporting KC, and all the colleges, what you guys do at 610, and all the corporations and the individuals that behind the scenes that we don't even hear about. So Kansas City is one of the more generous cities in the country.
And I know from my experience being part of the Running 14 and the Running 15, it was able for me to open eyes and get involved and help people out, and didn't realize the impact we could, have, maybe in a small way, a big way, medium-sized way, but you don't realize that type of impact you can have. Like winning baseball opened the doors for, I think, for a lot of people, not just on the baseball side, but in this whole town.
I think so. There's no doubt about it. I mean, and everything you do is important. Everything's crucial. Everything's critical. There are no little things. Everything is important and impactful. And once we understand that and have that type of perspective, just reaching out to one person. And like I told many people through this process with the Urban Youth Academy, truth of the matter is, if it helps one person and changes an entire generation, it's all worth it. And so that's the attitude in which we have. That's the spirit in which we go to work each and every day to try to serve our community and put the best team on the field, of course. But it goes much deeper than that.
Is there something from traveling the country, a fun story that you have where somebody said something maybe about Kansas City, you kind of got a laugh out of it, or educated somebody about Kansas City that you really remember?
Well, I'd have to think through it, but I do know that everybody first really started understanding what a great sports town this is and baseball town when we had the All-Star game. And then when we began to play winning baseball, we caught the attention of the entire country, and people enjoyed watching our players play, and their aggressiveness, their family, put everybody else first type attitude, and then the way our community responds. I mean, it's a special place, and like I've said all the time, I mean, when I grew up as a coach, one of the things I would challenge myself with all the time and articulate is, you can't fool the players. Well, in Kansas City, you can't fool the fans. You can't fool, so you're honest, you're transparent. With Midwestern people, they're tough, they're resilient, they care, they just want effort. And that's not only on the field, but it's everything in the community. You give your best effort every single day to try to pour in to others and enrich the lives of others. And you've got to do it, you've got to lead it. I mean, you can't just say it. You've got to go out there and be an example. And so that's what we try to do. And we're fortunate that the Glass family allows us to come out here and take 4 days and just pour into our community and impact.
How much has baseball grown over the last couple of years in Kansas City?
I think quite a bit. I mean, it's always been a really good baseball town, as you know, but I think winning certainly captures a lot of that. And, people want to, they pay attention and they get connected to the stories of the players. I mean, our media does an unbelievable job of telling the story of each player, and they're all special. They're stories of perseverance. They're not unlike any of us growing up. They've had to deal with a lot of the same things and then challenges that we all have, and they're genetically gifted, obviously, to play a professional sport, but they're human beings, and our players connect with the fans, and the fans connect with our players.
You made that comment the other day on your show about the way that this team kind of feeds off the fans and kind of vice versa. Explain that relationship and what you see as the general manager, the fan-player relationship.
Well, at first, it just like I told Nick Prado the other day, I said, look, you're the first-round selection, and when you sign a contract with the Kansas City Royals, it's going to be your responsibility to treat everybody else like they're the first rounder. And that's the type of attitude and the ingredients and character that must be displayed in your attitude each and every single day. And that's what we want in all of our players. But when your most talented players care the most, work the hardest, compete the best, they're there early, they're there late, they're accountable. Your team always has a chance to reach its ceiling, and that's all we're trying to do. And so I think our players do that. When you look at Eric Hosmer and what he's meant, and Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon, obviously, he struggled for a little over a year now, but you see the same approach every single day. you see the same work ethic, and now he's starting to have some success and he's getting out of it, but it speaks to the consistency in which he lives his life, and there's no greater example. But we have several players. I mean, and you look at the charisma and the enthusiasm of Salvador Perez, and that charisma and enthusiasm has brought out the best in Lorenzo Cain. When Lorenzo Cain first joined us and broke into the major leagues, he was a little guarded, what am I doing here? And new organization, do I really know these people? And Salvi, again, that enthusiasm, that charisma brings out the best in him, and so that's what you want in your players. It's like when we put the draft together. Of course, you take the best available player, but you're always considering, okay, what will this player's intangibles, his character, how's that going to affect the next player? And so you want them all to believe in each other and support one another to the point where they produce above and beyond anybody would expect, because the support structure is there.
So when you're looking at guys and you're looking at drafting guys or signing guys as free agents or something, what's like the number one thing you look for when you talk about character and culture within an organization?
Well, talent obviously is crucial, and when you put the players in the categories based on talent, then you begin to dissect. Okay, how do they manage failure? Are they persistent? What is their attitude and their character when things are going poorly for them? It's easy to put on a happy face and go out there and give your best effort when everything's going good. Who were their mentors in their life and why? What type of relationship did they have with their parents and why? So it goes, very deep into their marinade in life, and that's why our area scouts are so important, because they are the ones that truthfully have grown up with the player. They know, who they hang out with, where they spend their time, who they spend their time with, what do they spend their money on, what are the things that they're chasing, and do they want to really play this game because they really love it and understand the importance that to win a championship, you've got to have unity and togetherness, and you got to be able to pull for one another. You can't be self-centered, and you've got to be selfless, and so those are the types of things that we're constantly evaluating, and it's hard in our game, Bob, because we don't see these guys fail a whole lot until they get in the minor leagues. If we saw them fail a lot as amateurs, whether it be in the high school ranks or the college ranks, we probably wouldn't, have been attracted to them, right? So the only way you can kind of get a window or a picture into what they're going to be like is to try to, evaluate their marinating life, how they grew up, and how they've managed certain aspects of their life, perseverance stories, and examples of being a great teammate, things they do in the community. And so, it just comes back to your question before about important for us to be in the community. Well, if the front office and the organization is not involved in the community, how can you expect your players to be involved in the community? So you've got to lead the way with it. And so we're not perfect. We make a lot of mistakes. We've certainly made errors in judgment when it comes to makeup of players, but you learn from it, and you move on.
You mentioned earlier the Urban Youth Academy, and I think everybody in Kansas City is intrigued by that. Where are we with that? How much longer till it's ready to go?
We've had events out there already. Obviously, we had the Teammates for Kids event with Garth Brooks, and really fortunate that his foundation decided that they were going to donate and build us a press box, which will be an educational center as well. So we've had events out there. We've had some USA baseball events. We've had a couple other camps and clinics out there. The fields are pretty much almost done, and what is being completed right now is the indoor facility, which we anticipate hopefully by the end of August, mid-September, if the weather's good for us. I know the structure is up. If you've had a chance to drive by out there, you can see it kind of coming together, but it's going to be a special place. Kyle Venna has done an unbelievable job, just he's kind of been the chairperson of this, and headed up all the fundraising with him and Carolyn Watley. Of course, Mayor James has been spectacular with his great support, but it's been a great community effort and something we'll all be proud of.
How much less stress do you have right now after that road swing?
It's been better. I was telling you earlier, during the draft process, I talked to Mr. Glass almost every single day, and in years past, when the team struggled, it's not a pleasant conversation, and it's always a good conversation. He's a special guy. I love him to death, but he gets frustrated as well. So when the team's doing well, and we finish the draft, and and he's a little more, engaging, and just has a little more time and not as stressed. So, we all feel that. So
He sounds like a fan, huh?
he's a great fan, a smart fan, and really good baseball guy. He's taught me a lot, and he's a really educated owner when it comes to knowing the game and what to expect and what players ought to be doing, and he asks good questions.
Dayton, thanks for having us out here today. Looks like it's going to be a heck of a week for you guys.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate you having us.